I quit. Thinking in my head of the goals I want to achieve and not pursuing them because I'm primarily known for one thing and super scared to step out that box.
2, 3. Kai, where are you? Like, I really want to know where he's at.
Let's call.
What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Danger, and welcome to the Danger Zone. And for the beginning of the year, our first story is going to be about Cenat. And that's because Cenat's name has been popular on the internet for the past couple of months. Whether it is about Cenat breaking up with his girlfriend Gigi, or Cenat wanted to quit Twitch streaming, or if Cenat wants to start his own clothing line, amongst other stuff that we're going to get into today. Now, it's been a while. I know I haven't dropped any videos in a while, but tune in. We're going to have a lot of videos as promised. So let's get right into it. So we're going to start with Cenat wanted to quit Twitch streaming and how that's affecting all the creators in the Twitch space and everybody that has their opinion. And we're going to just get into the reasons why we believe Cenat is actually quitting, or if he actually is quitting, because I highly doubt that he's going to just quit streaming outright, but he's more so trying to send a message, and also he has a different outlook when it comes on to certain things in life, such as streaming. So the real question is Cenat really quitting streaming? Because Cenat dropped a couple of videos on a new YouTube channel he created at the beginning of the year, I believe. And Cenat had a video on there that said, "I quit." Now, we're going to watch a little bit of clips as to what Cenat has to say, and then we're going to have a little bit of discourse about him actually quitting or not. So let's get right into the video, and then we're gonna give our opinions on the situation. And then if y'all have any questions or y'all have any thoughts on this matter, just drop it in the comments so we could just further have some dialogue whenever I drop more videos on Cenat.
If you look at the paper, it's like this did a lot of streaming. And the way I think I told you, or whoever I told, but I look at it as like this, bro. Streaming, or wherever the industry that we're in right now, it's like a track field. It's like everybody running on this track field, everybody running the track field. If somebody does good and runs off and beyond the track field, like he gets out of that circle, he runs out of it, and then like when you do something big, like for example, like you hear, and then like Mafia Don 3, I feel like I achieved more than just that track field, and I feel like what I learned from my other Mafia Dons, what I learned from Stream University, what I learned from my big projects, I feel like people don't digest in front of them and take it for what it is. So when I leave, it's like I feel like if I was to come back to shooting so fast and just go back like nothing happened, don't work on anything I want to do, it's like I'm back in the rotation, and I hate that feeling. It's like, bro, I feel like I did something great that people got to digest. So it's like I'd rather be here and then do more like that, and just to always have shit, but always not forget like streaming is where I stem from. So have that on my hip, and a lot of this that I do stem it through streaming.
Bro, streaming, like, I would never stop it. I would never stop streaming, though. But you gotta have time for you, bro. You know? Because we gonna get caught up in the screens, the two monitors, the chat, all that. But when do you have time for Chris? When do you have time to make true art? Music is not a joke.
Even the YouTube shit, bro.
Yeah. And like, you don't gotta drop often. You can drop when you want, but just know behind the scenes and when you about to drop is you cooking though. You can't be stagnant. You gotta still be showing a tide of cooking. You know, and then you put that shit out.
So now we can speak about Cenat a little bit more, and we could elaborate on what we think is really going on based on the clips and the videos that were just played. So ideally, I do not think that Cenat is permanently gonna stop streaming, but is he gonna be like a consecutive regular streamer? I don't think that's gonna be the case from now on. Now, he might pop up here and there and just do like some type of event, or maybe he might just stream at random times, but I don't ideally think he's gonna become a regular streamer where every week and there's a Kai Cenat stream. It might just be one this month, might be a couple months after you might see him again, or something that he gets paid to do, or something of that nature. And the reason I think things are going to be like this is because this is from the perspective of somebody that streamed before and somebody that tried streaming, and I still stream, but it's not a constant thing. And I have my own reasons, very different from Kai Cenat, because Kai Cenat is a successful streamer. So if you don't understand streaming, you'll never understand the life of a streamer. Even though these guys, they outsource things like clippers, like cutting up videos, editors, they pay people to do these things such as a cameraman, or in Kai Cenat's specific situation, a production team. But after a while, streaming kind of gets repetitive based on what Kai Cenat is saying. And if you stream, you understand that it's like this. You have to come up with different ways how to be creative, entertain the fans in a way that seems fresh and new. And you have to come up with new ways how to entertain yourself, because at the end of the day, streaming can be really, really boring sometimes. It might feel like it's a 9 to 5. Like sometimes some of the things that you're doing, you don't necessarily like it, or it's based on what the fans choose. Like, when a streamer might ask chat, what do you think, chat, and stuff like that. So ideally, I think streaming it's getting to a point where Kai Cenat has achieved some of the most renowned accolades and awards, some of the greatest accomplishments in the streaming industry. And it's at the point where he's trying to sit back and reflect on his own life and see where he wants to progress to after getting all this success in streaming. So he's now looking at what's next. What do I do now? And what am I interested in? What do I have a passion for and goals that I want to achieve? And I think that's where Kai Cenat's mind frame is at currently. I just think he's just trying to progress, and he's trying to do other things. He's trying to venture into other industries so that he could dominate as well, or see if he has the capability to dominate or be successful. And one of those industries is fashion. You could also see that Kai Cenat is also making an effort to change his lifestyle by reading. He's actively trying to improve his vocabulary. As you can see, he's about to try to pursue acting as well. He's also being healthy. He's eating good. He's working out a lot. He wants to change and become a better person. You can see that these are some of the things that he's interested in. But at the same time, I could also say that Kai Cenat had dreams of doing other things way before he actually announced that he was gonna quit. The reason I say that is I'm gonna elaborate further on that right now, because there's a video of his ex-girlfriend Gigi, and she basically states that Kai Cenat had these interests before all this stuff was coming out. But before we get into that, I'll also like to state that I think the main reason why Kai Cenat is approaching streaming, Twitch streaming, to this level, and he's saying that he wants to quit, is because he feels unappreciated, and not by the fans, because the fans are complaining that after Kai Cenat got so successful, he just disappeared and they felt betrayed. But I believe that the real reason Kai Cenat doesn't feel appreciated is because of certain people in his industry, like his peers and people like the owner of Twitch. And we're gonna get into that right now, because there's a video going around, and in this video the Twitch CEO was being interviewed about a Mount Rushmore of Twitch, and he gave his opinion. So the owner of Twitch, who is known as Dan Clancy, he was asked a couple questions about who he thinks should be on the Mount Rushmore of Twitch, and there was no mention of Kai and Speed, only when he had some type of criticism claiming that they don't deserve to be on the Mount Rushmore because Twitch streamers that have been twitching, that's crazy, twitching. But Twitch streamers that's been on the platform for many years, way before Cenat and Speed came on, he believes those guys, like the people that play video games, that was what Twitch was mainly about before you had Cenat and other people coming on doing mostly IRL and just chatting streams. It was mostly about video gaming. So he was basically saying that he believes the OG Twitch streamers who have been doing it for a while and are probably still current right now, they are the guys that deserve to be crowned the best Twitch streamers. And Cenat, you could tell he felt the way about it. So I'm going to play a clip of Dan Clancy breaking down who he believes is the actual contenders for the Mount Rushmore. Then shortly after, I'm going to show you a video of Cenat confronting Dan Clancy. And Cenat did this at the Streamer Awards, which is what opened my eyes to what he was thinking. And that's going to give you some type of understanding of what went on and what Cenat had animosity about. And then shortly after that, I'm going to play another clip that includes Gigi explaining that Cenat had these ambitions before he actually announced that he was going to quit. Now, we also have to take into consideration that Kai already questioned Dan Clancy about this, and he gave an answer that included him and Speed, but later retracted his answers when he was confronted by a group of guys that apparently own a car repair shop.
So obviously Kai's there, right? And if you're going to Mount Rushmore streamers, obviously I think Ninja has to be there, right?
Yep.
Those are two easy ones. As always with these things, sometimes the first two are easy, and then I think you probably put Pokey there. I mean, the other person now, obviously, that is trying to change it like you with Speed, right? It probably should be more historical.
Yeah.
You know, in other words, Kai is big now, but you know, arguably it's like, now he asked me, so I had to put him on there. But arguably it's like, look, you're great, but you can't be on the Mount Rushmore yet.
See, I think it should be Speed, Kai, Queso.
Right.
When there's like so.
Well, initially when I was doing it, because of course part of it is you just don't remember people. And initially I mentioned Speed, and then I was like, oh no, and I swapped Speed out for Queso.
Yeah.
Okay. But of course all the idiots. I guarantee you it was edited.
It didn't look edited.
Did he tell you what I said?
Yeah, he said you thought it was edited.
No, I'll tell you what I said. Tell you exactly what I said. Miz gave his Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Right? And then he gave like OG. He gave like Soda Poppin' and Wreckable and all these OG.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I guess for some people, Mount Rushmore is for the OG.
Yeah, I seen that, yeah.
Okay, and so if that is your thing, then Kai and Speed are at the top of the heap now.
No, you said, no.
And then,
you said,
therefore Kai and Speed wouldn't be on. No, I said they're at the top of the heap now, so then Kai and Speed wouldn't be on Mount Rushmore.
Now you had said, like you can't. You only told me that I was on Rushmore because you was in front of me.
Oh no, you saw that. No, I had you on that. I meant the clip.
No, you said to Miz, you said the only reason why you put me on Mount Rushmore is because you was in front of me. Yeah, it's okay, bro.
Okay, I might have said that, but that's just talking to me.
I told John though.
I might have said, but then they I guarantee you I might have said that, but they edited where they said, oh, I wouldn't have him on there. I never said that. Okay,
I seen it, but it's okay.
Like, he knows everything. This person that he is now, I know you guys feel like this is something new, this is something out of the ordinary, but when he came back from the Mafia-thon, this is exactly how he was. He wanted to start reading books. He wanted to start getting into clothes. It's so annoying when I see people say, oh, he's doing all of this or he's going through this because of the relationship that he was in, and the breakup is causing him to change, and oh my gosh, this is what happens when a girl breaks a man's heart. I'm never the girl to break a man's heart, okay? But when Kai came back from Mafia-thon, this is who he chose to be. Before Kai left for Mafia-thon, we had an agreement and we had a plan. And unfortunately, when he came back, things changed, plans changed, and I was all for it. I'm all for people wanting to better themselves. I will never take that away from him. Like when he told me like he wants to read, he wants to eat better, he wants to work out, he wants to do certain things. There was never a bone in my body that felt like, oh, hell nah, I'm gonna go against him.
So if you haven't really picked up on what's really going on, you could see that Kai Cenat is frustrated because you have someone like the CEO of Twitch who claimed that Kai was in the Mount Rushmore, meaning that Kai Cenat was one of the best streamers around, including people like Speed, Pokimane, and people of that nature, Ninja. And then he renounced this statement. After he renounced this statement, when he was no longer on Kai Cenat's stream and he was having a conversation with a couple people, and that made Kai Cenat feel offended because he took it as, based on the answers that Dan Clancy had, he doesn't really mess with the black streamers. And not to mention that Kai Cenat is one of his most prestigious and consistent money maker. So you got to understand, Twitch takes a certain percent of your earnings, and that helps his pocket. Now, being that Kai Cenat is the most successful streamer on the platform, especially in this day and age, you could tell that Kai Cenat is one of his main income streams. So Kai Cenat took this as a very offensive and disrespectful comment, and based on that, you could tell this is one of the reasons Kai Cenat was not really messing with the Twitch community no more, because the main guy, the guy in charge of Twitch, is disrespecting him, and he's speaking badly about him, saying that if he wasn't on his stream, he would never even include him in the Mount Rushmore. So it's clear that Kai Cenat did not want to just outright quit streaming. He always wanted to stream, and he was probably going to incorporate his fashion ideologies during his streams, but instead he just said, I'm going to stream less. But instead what he did was he decided that he would no longer stream on Twitch as much, and he would just pursue the fashion career by itself and see how far he would get, being that he's a current day celebrity. And I believe Kai Cenat could have approached this differently. Like, for instance, he probably could have jumped ship and went to Kick and try to see if he could continue his career there. But he obviously doesn't want to just start over and just switch platforms, being that he's the most followed. He broke the record for most Twitch subs, and he also broke the record for live viewers, I believe, behind somebody. Now I think he broke that record too. So he broke many records during his Mafiathon 3, even though he had previous records for Twitch subs before that. And this is one of the main reasons why Kai Cenat was angry, being that he felt like he wasn't being appreciated enough. And maybe people like some of the guys that he was looking out for as well, they weren't really appreciative enough, because I seen a clip where his girlfriend was saying that even though Kai Cenat was in charge of paying for the Clover House 1 and the Clover House 2 and buying guys chains and stuff, they're not really looking out for him as much as he's looking out for them and stuff like that. And then being that this little thing happened between him and his girlfriend at the end of the year, where false claims were made against his ex-girlfriend Gigi, and we're going to speak about that in the next video coming out. But for now, that's kind of crazy, and you can see that he had ambitions to do these things before he actually announced that he was quitting. Now, I don't really feel like he's gonna really quit. He's probably gonna stream less, just stream on certain occasions and maybe like sporadically instead of consistently. And that's just where I'm at right now, and that's what I think Kai Cenat is doing. And it's really sad, because after Kai Cenat really announced this, you can see Twitch is not as profitable as before. The viewership went down for all of the main streamers that like people usually tune into, especially after Kai Cenat's stream ends. People just switch channels and go to like a DDG, a Blackboy Max, or anybody in the Clover House, or like anybody in AMP. So you could basically saying like Twitch is just going back to how it was before people like Cenat and Ada Ross came on there. But Speed is doing pretty good now and then. He doesn't have as much subs as the regular guys, but he's still doing good, and he's new to Twitch in a way, so that kind of makes sense. But Twitch isn't really like, it's not that popular like it was when these guys were on there. So, and if you also include the things that are going on, like there's a lot of more zesty stuff going on nowadays with like some of the guys coming around Clover and Blackboy Max and all the other guys, and you got a lot of guys dating OnlyFans models now. So it's like, it's a lot of degenerate kind of content going on right now, and it's really not that ideal for people to watch anymore. It's not that entertaining, because you could tell that Cenat wasn't just like highly favored, but he was also very creative, and people really liked his personality as well. So a lot of the viewership for many of the streamers just fell, and it's like things are looking pretty different, but it is what it is. So tune in for the next video. We're gonna talk about Cenat's breakup with his ex-girlfriend Gigi. All right, peace.
Where Kai at?
That's the same thing I'm wondering. Ever since Mafia Dawn 3, I ain't been seeing him like that.
Back of the Royce, back of the Rollie. Yeah, hop in the booth, I tell my story. Yeah, I got guns just like Corey. Yeah.